In this video, we're going to take a look at how to make the most of your meetings with your architect or home designer when designing your custom home. We have been working with architects for a very long time, and so have our clients. We're going to give you some best practices on how to maximize the experience with your architect or home designer. In this video, I'm going to use the terms architect and home designer interchangeably. Some cities like ours allow both home designers and registered architects to submit qualified plan sets for city approval and construction. There are definite advantages of using a registered architect when designing a custom home, but at the same time, I've worked with some very talented home designers. You will be in good hands using either one of these professionals. One very important consideration when selecting an architect is to make sure they are skilled at drawing great front elevations of homes. Most good architects can draw a great floor plan, but only a handful are skilled at drawing incredible exteriors of homes. One of the best ways you can test for this is to ask them to show you sketches of house they've already done for previous clients. Sketches can help show their talent in designing and their understanding of scale and the details needed to make the home have an incredible curb appeal. It also shows their artistic ability, as most good designers are artists as well. Be sure to understand all what's included in their pricing and ask for a calendar or schedule for their typical design engagement. Knowing the schedule beforehand is good at setting expectations and for holding them accountable to a timeline. Also, make sure you've asked to see a full set of plans like the ones they'll create for you. The more expensive the architect, the more sheets they will include. But for most home projects, a standard set should work. But please note, different areas of the country could require different plan sheets. One of the common items missed in the scope of work are the cabinet drawings. We highly recommend that you have the architect create this for you. If you don't, and let the cabinet company create them, you risk having the cabinets run into issues in terms of locations of lighting, switches, etc. Having them incorporated into the plan set is the best way to avoid issues like this. The architect should also offer additional services to come visit the house during construction. Be sure to take advantage of this. For most of you, this will be your first custom home to build and won't understand everything you're seeing in the drawings. It's best for the architect to inspect construction at various phases to ensure the builder is following the drawings as they were designed. At a minimum, make sure the architect will do a foundation inspection where they will confirm dimensions, but most important, the locations of drain pipes in the wall locations. It's always best to have multiple sets of eyes confirming their locations because it's difficult to move later on. Another good practice is to try to have weekly meetings with your architect. If you don't, it's easy to extend the design process unnecessarily. So at the end of each meeting, be sure to schedule the next meeting for the following week. If the architect starts to bump the meetings, saying they're not ready, one way to fix this is to email them early the following week to confirm the meeting schedule for that week. It's kind of like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but it's always a gentle nudge or reminder. Like most professionals, the architect typically won't start working on any changes from the previous meeting until right before the next meeting. So if they get busy, they'll not have enough time to complete the changes and they'll ask to move the meeting to another week. I've seen this happen quite regularly with clients, and it can be very frustrating if it starts to become a pattern. Also, when you're reviewing changes made to the plans, don't sit on them very long. Work to turn them around quickly. Taking up to a week to get back with the architect on the changes can easily delay your project months. If you get stuck and having trouble knowing whether you like the changes, enlist a friend with knowledge in this area. It's a sounding board to help you. And lastly, most architects don't know pricing. And unfortunately, they don't know that they don't know. It reminds me of when I moved away from the pricing part of our company and hired someone more skilled than me in the area to take over those duties. After I was away from the job a couple years, I would assume I still knew what things cost, and my team would have to remind me that the costs in my head were from years ago and weren't accurate any longer. It's the same way with architects. They may offer up ideas for upgrades, and instinctively you're going to ask them how much that upgrade would cost. Most of the time they won't be quoting you with the correct price. This is one of the reasons we recommend bringing a builder in early during the design process. If the builder is in the meeting, they will be able to quickly give you a pretty good idea of what that particular upgrade will cost. Thank you for watching. We really hope this video helps you maximize your time with your architect. Please leave us a like or subscribe if you want to see more of our videos.